Amalgamated Housing Co-op is made up of a lot of different moving parts. We have almost 1,500 families in 11 buildings, hundreds of miles of wire, hundreds of miles of pipe, millions of bricks, thousands of linear feet of mortar to keep all the bricks together, and somebody's got to make sure that all of those pieces fit and all of those pieces keep operating. So they hire a person. In this situation, it's me, the general manager, and I employ about 100 staff. 45 of them are in the service department.
Any handyman in the Tower 2 right now? Angel, Tower 2, going to the garage, the door, one of the Cooperative have the keys stuck in here, and I cannot get them out.
Anything that goes wrong in your apartment that you can think of, whether it's a light fixture that doesn't work, or it's a faucet that's leaking, or it's a toilet that won't stop running, or it's a sink that's backed up, all you have to do is pick up a telephone and dial 7 digits, and there's somebody at the end ready to set up an appointment for you to have them come up and take care of that. We also have people in the security office. We have people who run the boiler room.
We give and maintain the heat. We distribute it through the buildings with different loads, different temperatures. But there's nothing like having the reliability of a man 24 hours a day. Something could go wrong. You need to make a phone call to find out there's a problem. There's someone here 24 hours a day. It's the reliability.
Then we have our security department. Again, we have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week security. We have a security vehicle that is constantly in patrol. We have security that checks the buildings on a fairly regular basis. And I keep telling people that it is probably one of the best kept housing secrets in the city of New York because people don't know about it. And it is one of the safest communities in the city of New York. If you look at the police department statistics for the Bronx in general, for this area in particular, you will see this one spot in the middle of the precinct where there's hardly ever any crime. My staff and I juggle all of these moving parts to keep the co-op operating as smoothly as we possibly can.
In a cooperative, cooperators are both their own landlord and their own tenant. They're responsible for keeping the place going, for raising the money that's needed to maintain their property. So they have to weigh in that balance of what do I want versus what am I willing to pay.
We made a tough decision now to spend $1.2 million on a boiler that people say, hey, you could have fixed it for $75,000 without really knowing what they're talking about. And we're going to have something good.
And a good cooperator is the one who understands the balance, who understands that they are both the owner and the resident.
My title is Education Director, but I feel like I'm kind of a jack of all trades and a master of quite a few, I might add, okay? I live here and I work here. My job includes the orientation of all new families that are moving into the cooperative. I love that part of it. You meet the new families, you meet the new children, and you get to talk about the cooperative. I talk to them about the cooperative, the history of the co-op, and I talk to them about some of the events and activities and things that take place here.
Let's make a circle.
The nursery school's been in existence for about 75 years. It's a parent cooperative. Parents are very involved in the running of the nursery school.
The teachers there, they're really nice teachers there. They work really well with the children, and I just enjoy that. Like I said, it's my first experience with it with my 4-year-old, and it's a pre-K, and he just loves it. He loves going to school. Every morning he gets up ready to go, sick or not, he wants to go to school, and I just think that's a great thing. His first experience with school is a positive one.
I was a student in the nursery school, I was a parent in the nursery school, a teacher in the nursery school, and now I'm the director of the school. So I've come really full circle.
I joined a knitting group here in the building, right, as a matter of fact, in this room. And after a year or two, the lady that was running the group decided to give it up. So I got talked into taking it over. And we've been very successful with it. We have a lot of members. Several months at a time, we put together hats and booties and we take them to North Central Hospital and they distribute them to the newborns.
While you knit, you can still talk and, communicate and coffee clutch the way we do here, and still our hands are, in action.
And it keeps you away from the refrigerator too.
As a new cooperator, you can become a member of the ceramic studio, and as a member, you're entitled to a key. And with that key, you can come into the studio whenever you feel like coming into the studio and work on whatever you feel like working on. And you could get your hands in clay and you can work and make things that are beautiful.
It's relaxing. Come here just to, I'd say not to think. Here you could just be the artist, just be the person that holds the clay.
You can be busy in this neighborhood every minute of the day between Amalgamated's activities and NORC's activities. NORC is a naturally occurring retirement community, and NORC uses the Park facilities. There's an RN on duty, there is a social worker, and there's an executive director of NORC. Now, in my later years, the fact that there is an Park with social services and care about whether or not you're going to go out, or if a nurse will come in and check your blood pressure if you're not feeling well, will track down any reports from your doctor. And I think that my children too are happy or content that I'm living in this kind of a community where we care about each other.
First of all, where else can you live where there's a ceramic studio, a theater, a wood shop, a photo shop, events for kids, a credit union, a nursery school, senior services right in your neighborhood?
Well, the Amalgamated is a cooperative with many people who appreciate the finer things of life, such as classical music, jazz, art of all kinds, nature, and just being together as people who appreciate each other. So, in addition to that, they appreciate people who do art and make it easy for them by giving them a studio and giving them a place to show, like an auditorium or a gallery.
When I moved here, I wanted a studio to paint it. And they gave me a studio to paint it. It was big and clean and not far from my apartment. And I began to feel that life was worthwhile. I need to paint. It's not that I have to paint. I need to paint. It's what keeps me alive.